All right, that was Beck with Rowboat. We are back with Matt Sorenson from the Northern Plains Botanic Garden Society. We are moving on to Fargo FAQ, frequently asked questions. So we get mail from all around this great country. People want to know all about Fargo, North Dakota. So they write in with their questions. They got Q's, we got A's. So we are going to give them those answers. Are you ready to help some people out, Matt?
Let's do this.
All right, so Emily Johnson from Fort Collins, Colorado asks, why are there so many open fields and farmlands in North Dakota? Is it all just agriculture? Now, that's a good question for you, because you come from farmland.
Well, yeah, maybe. I haven't spent much time in North Dakota as opposed to Minnesota.
So when you were living on the farmland out in Minnesota, you guys really never left Minnesota. You never worked, interacted. So when I watch Yellowstone, which is what I'm entirely basing your childhood and what I'm imagining your life was just Yellowstone with all the intrigue, the excitement, the warfare, basically, between the many different farm families of Minnesota that never spilled over into North Dakota, because they're always going into Wyoming over in Yellowstone. You never had to do anything like that.
No.
Never went over to Minnesota. Well, there is more than just open fields and farmlands in North Dakota. I'll tell you that much, Emily Johnson from Fort Collins. We do have a big city. Fargo's a big city. But we do have some great farmlands and agriculture with the garden, don't we?
Yeah. And to the previous question, there's some interesting factoids on the more like immediate surroundings. You know, we're in ancient glacial Lake Agassiz, and this Red River Valley is one of the flattest terrains on Earth.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you drive up I-94 through Minnesota, or if you coming east across North Dakota, you hit this it's called the Great Plains for that reason. It's very flat.
Because it's a big, flat lake bed.
Yes.
And that's what I always tell people about why did we grow out instead of up? I think a lot of people are like, well, why aren't there any tall buildings? It's because it's just soft lake bed.
Yeah, a lot of clay.
It's kind of a shame that we build rather than farm here, but...
And we are the Northern Plains Botanic Garden Society, not the Northern Forest, not the Northern Prairie.
Yeah, the Northern Plains. Okay, very, very, very good. So there is more than just agriculture. We've got a big old city here, but then we definitely stick to the agriculture and grow our gardens and have a lot of fun here. All right, you ready for the next question?
Sure.
Little Timmy, age 6 from Kearney, Nebraska, asks, why is it so cold up there? Do you even have summer? Why do people live in the tundra?
Excellent question, Timmy. Back in the point that it's very flat here, it's also very windy, and we get these Arctic winds blowing right through town.
It's a vortex, I've heard. Yeah. Like sometimes Fargo is even colder than even further up north, is what I've heard.
I think that is true.
But I think a lot of people are under maybe the misconception that we don't have summer. We do have summer.
We do have summer.
It gets hot some days. Not today.
The July is, other than the first 2 or 3 days of July has been surprisingly cool so far.
Which is weird.
It is weird.
Usually it's much, much warmer.
Yep.
Somehow go ahead.
A few friends that it's been perfect October weather. With
yes.
Ripe berries and greenery all around us.
Yeah, so you run the garden and do a lot of gardening with the Garden Society, I imagine. Does this cool weather, does that affect the way things are?
I'm less active in the gardens. We have some just amazing master gardeners that make the place look beautiful, and if you go look at it, that evidence will become clear to you. I'm not one of those people that keeps it that beautiful. We have personnel needs that we can talk about going forward here, but
go ahead, go for it. Personnel needs.
I don't want to draw away from the questions.
No, that's quite all right. It's a very loose improvisation.
It takes a lot to run the organization, and we do have, as you know, Conrad, a couple of open board seats.
Yeah.
And also needs on our committee. So we love. I think that the people my first impression when I heard the gardens, when I discovered the gardens and started talking to people in the organization and the call for volunteers, it's like, well, I don't have much gardening experience. I don't know what I could do. Well, have you ever spent time with a computer? Turns out, like 20 years. But or administrative, clerical skills, leadership skills, fundraising skills. We're interested in hearing and talking with people with all of these different types of skills, from people with many years of experience to people that just want to gain experience in marketing and copywriting. We have lots of needs.
Yeah.
Committees.
When and I was surprised. So I joined myself the board. So I am one of the board members currently. I joined just this spring, just maybe March or February, and yeah, I was surprised by how large the organization is, how much potential there is, but also it does need some hands-on and some hands-in. So if you're looking to get involved with something, or you're looking to be a part of an organization and really make a difference and make something happen, I think there's a huge opportunity with the board, if somebody was interested in volunteering or helping out, to really make a big difference in Fargo. And do something big, like we already discussed. They're doing a lot of exciting stuff with the Japanese gardens and the edible tours and all kinds of things going on. So definitely exciting. And guess what? It's been 5 minutes. Can you believe it? It goes so quick. We only did 2 questions. We got Emily and Timmy, and that's it. We're gonna move on to Monkberry Moon Delight. Catch you back in 5 minutes.